Good evening, guys. Let's again have a Bank Nifty and Nifty analysis. What you see in front of you
This is
is
a
the Nifty
reminder.
chart.
Put this back.
Sorry, that was Alexa. So we have the Nifty spot chart over here, and nothing much has changed as per yesterday's diagram. We see that it is still not killed the resistance. It is struggling. It is below the monthly chart, but above the weekly pivot. Sorry, it's below the weekly monthly pivot and above the weekly pivot. So once it breaks this, we can definitely expect a movement upside with a resistance coming at 18,480. Let's see how the 5-minute chart looks. So what did Nifty do today? Let's try and understand that. Today is 3rd and at a little gap down, very small, and then went up, and the monthly pivot is giving resistance over here. So definitely they need good volume for it to go up. It's above the 200 SMA, which makes it a little bullish. Let's see in 15 minutes. Yes, it is above the 200 SMA in 15 minutes also. And a good support was taken on 30th December, which gives me a good trend line to make over here. So it's taking a good support there, and it has already broken the resistance twice over here. So we can remove this resistance line. This is the new trend line by which it is going up, but it is facing a lot of resistance near the monthly pivot. Now let's see how Bank Nifty is doing. First, we will see in day chart what is the new change. If you go to see, it is still at the same resistance point, 43,400, and once, twice, thrice, it has taken resistance and fallen down. So above the weekly pivot, above the monthly pivot, add resistance. So tomorrow, if it comes down, won't get shocked, or with the gap up, it will go up. So it's very important that we also see how is Dow Jones doing at this point in time. So Dow Jones in a 5-minute chart has not given much changes. Very slow movement. Yes, it is trying to come above the weekly pivot, but monthly pivot is still there. So we can't say it's going to be gap up, but yeah, it looks to be a bullish movement right now. Let's see in the morning how this goes. And now let's see Bank Nifty. So from a 1-hour chart point of view in Bank Nifty, if I just remove this indicator, we have a good trend line and a good resistance. It's a bullish way of going up. So this resistance has to be broken, 43,500, and then it might go up and meet another resistance, which is somewhere here, which is 43,800. But if the trend is broken again, don't get surprised. So let's see in 15 minutes. It is above the weekly monthly pivot and above 200. In 5-minute also above the weekly monthly and above 200, taking support continuously on 200 SMA. C1, C2, C3, and C4. So definitely there are bulls who are trying to purchase and then sell, purchase, sell, purchase, sell, purchase. So tomorrow they might sell and then go up, or directly go up and then sell. So it's time for us to see how the CPR looks. So let me remove the drawings. Now we will see the CPR. So the tomorrow CPR is also not that narrow, but yeah, compared to today, it's a little higher. Yes. Today it was quite narrow. If you see, it took support on the CPR and then went up. Tomorrow's pivot is up, so definitely they will try to go up. Let's see how it looks for Nifty. So from little broad, it's become a little narrow. So if you compare the Bank Nifty and Nifty CPR, Bank Nifty is more narrow compared to Nifty, but it is holding the trend line. From today, we will also see, apart from swing calls, how is the commodity market doing. It's very important to see because it gives you a little perspective of how the hedging works. Now, if you see in the day chart, the gold is climbing weekly pivots, and only once it has come below the weekly pivot and gone above the monthly pivot. So for gold commodity, guys, 54,500 would be a good point from which it should not come down. Else it's a bullish movement. And for silver, same thing. It is on the weekly pivot and above the monthly pivot. But I see good amount of resistance over here. This is a resistance zone if you see the weekly chart. And a good trend line also over here explains that this might not be broken. If even if it breaks, it will not go above 73,500. So this is a zone to be noticed. It's a constant resistance zone. If this resistance is broken, mind you, there'll be a very high price coming up, which I doubt. So there will be a bearish movement starting very soon in silver. Let's go for our swing call. So before we go ahead, let's update this chart. BN support. So let's see BN support in a 5-minute chart. More than support, I see there is a trend line which is forming very nicely, but still I can say 42,300 is a good support, very good support. Plus, there is a good trend line that is maintained, but we can see a new resistance forming up over here. So again, the same situation that we had seen in Nifty. So now if you see 5-minute, we can say around 43,600 will be resistance, 43,600, and we continue to say 43 will be support. CPR, I will still say narrow. And now let's do Nifty. In a 1-hour chart, I would still say Nifty is at 18,000 support. And the resistance points are still the same, around 18,300 or 18,290, whatever. It's a narrow CPR. Now let's look at the swing calls I have. The first one is 𝗙𝗀𝗃𝗃. So we go to day chart and we will type 𝗙𝗃𝗃. So interesting share. I like the journey it has done. 160, 150 is a good price for this share. And it has broken the resistance long time ago. But after that, it is not able to really go up because this area has become, this area, if you go to see, this resistance is now becoming this. So one can enter if you want to, keeping in mind this as a resistance point. Now, if we apply some indicators over here, like MACD, I can see a convergence happening down. So definitely this is a good area to buy. Let's look at the new share, Reliance. Uh, there's a convergence about to happen over here, but we will still trust price action. Now, this is a very high sideways share, which forms its support over here, and then it flows only in a sideways market. So if you pick it over here, take it as a resistance of 2770, a good support area once the divergence comes. It is above the weekly pivot. Tomorrow is a narrow, very narrow CPR, but strangely, it is near the 200 CPR. So if it doesn't manage to break this, it's going to fall down. So be very careful about Reliance. Delta Corp, we have not seen the monthly and weekly. So it is above the weekly and above the monthly also with a narrow CPR. So tomorrow I'm expecting heavy moves in Delta Corp. Let's check Infosys. It's above the weekly, below the monthly, and below 200. So we should wait for the monthly to really break. And if we see MACD, there's a nice smooth convergence about to happen. So it's a good time to focus on this. RSI is 46. The moment it's 50, it will cross this side. Then Manappuram, Finance, above weekly, above monthly. This is a good point to always observe. Whenever a share is above the weekly and monthly at the same time, it gives a very good output. Now let's see how the price action looks, because, oh, very nice, very nice. This share has a very good move upside. Positional trading can be done. I see first resistance over here itself. So if this is crossed, then we can go for this as it is. So 126, 127 uh, can be a good price to enter. Now let's check the last one, Petronet. And in the day chart, I see a very big downtrend. But why I say that this is a good for swing, because if you observe the weekly chart, it is somewhere near its previous resistance. So the bearish trend might discontinue, and we can see a good output coming over here, provided there is a good volume. Let's check the pivots of day in this, and I see that it is above the weekly and daily with a narrow CPR again. So everything is becoming narrow, which clearly says that the bearish and the bullish fights are extreme now. So if there is a fight up, then this is going to go upside, yeah, or it will fall down and continue its bearish mode. So that's it for today. Hope you like the analysis. If you have anything for me which I should cover extra, then please mention it in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and share this video so that more people can get benefit from this. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.